Alright guys, I'm gonna get straight into this. So basically through lockdown, myself, like many other people, were probably going through a bit of a hard time. And through this period, I had a lot of problems that were coming up. And with everything that was being pushed out there at the time, I believe that it was causing me to focus on my problems and solely on all of the things that I saw as a problem in life. And these problems were constantly running through my head without me actually working on them. So that was just causing anxiety, stress, overwhelm. And these things were really building up and preventing me from actually taking action and moving forward in the things I wanted to in life. So, or I would take a little bit of action and then get pulled back, a little bit and get pulled back, because really it was in my mindset, my beliefs, and my focus. And today I just want to jump on and share how I was able to move forward from that and move out of that space. So in that space where I was in, it was like probably depression, but I wouldn't say I'm depressed. And that's one thing as well. I wouldn't allow myself to say I am depressed, because that is to me, that is reinstating and confirming that that is part of me, part of my identity. And I knew that wasn't who I was. So I was lucky. I was kind of dipping into that stage, but I wasn't allowing myself to stay there. I was basically, put it this way, right? You know, when you go on a road trip and you have to go to toilet, or you have to stop off, get something to eat, fill up petrol, and you might stop off on this little town. This town might be a shit town. There might be hardly anything there. The people there might not be that nice. The people there might be ugly. But the place is just not nice. The toilet's one of those drop toilets, but you gotta go. So you gotta go, right? Basically, that state of mind was it was like that town. And the good thing about that is the town is not the end destination. You know that you're just there for a short amount of time, and you're going to keep moving forward to your desired destination. You're just going to keep driving forward, and you're trusting that you're going to make it there. You're believing that you're going to make it there. Your belief is not that you are in this town, that this town is you. You're a part of this town now. So for me, that might be a bit confusing, right? But what I want you to get out of this video is you don't have to stay there. Yes, you are there. You don't have to be in denial that you are there in this current period of time, if you are, but you don't have to stay there. You can keep moving forward into something that's more desirable, but your focus is on what you find undesirable rather than what you find desirable. So that's why you're not moving out of that space. I just want to give today a simple, quick video on how one way I was able to start to move out of that space. So for me, I was in a space where I was constantly thinking of problems, like I just told you, and the problems were just coming up in my mind. And at that point, your mind just starts to find more problems and focus on those problems and the feeling of those problems, and it really keeps you stuck in there. So what I'm proposing to you right now is not that you should just ignore it and say, haha, it's all fine, and live off with the fairies, right? So this is what I did that helped me. Basically, took the emotion out of it, right? I'm like, okay, sat down with a piece of paper, and I put a line across and a line down, so it's like a T. And then one side of the line, I said problems. The other side is solutions. So now all the problems previously were floating around in my head and causing these feelings of anxiety because I wasn't dealing with them. They weren't actually happening right now, and I couldn't deal with it right now in the present time. And that's why it was causing that anxiety for me. So the way that I helped overcome this, is if it's not happening in the present moment right now, and I can't do anything to fix it right now, then what's the point of me worrying about it? Because it doesn't help me move forward. It doesn't help me move out of that. There's no point in actually worrying about it unless it's causing immediate danger or harm to me right now. The difference between fear and anxiety, from my understanding, fear is of a real and present danger. All right, if you're standing on a train track and a train is coming, then that's a fear. But if you're standing at home thinking about you on a train track and a train coming, that's not a real and present fear. That's just anxiety. That's going to cause these emotions to bubble up because you can't deal with the actual event in reality. It's just your imagined beliefs. So, all right, without all this bullshit, I'm just going to tell you, it's plain and simple. This is exactly what I did. So I did the line with the T on the page, problems, solutions. And then every time I thought of a problem, I forced myself to put down a solution. I would not move on to another problem unless there was a solution there. And in reality, I wasn't sitting down for an hour. This took minutes. I thought, all right, let's say, for example, I had a health problem. What's the solution? Go to the doctor. Simple. All right, let's say I had some financial problem. What's the solution? And then basically move on and keep doing that. So for example, it could be like a debt. Okay, pay the debt. So to keep moving on like that and then dealing with them as I could. And now, once it's all in front of me, it made it more real, it made it more tangible, and then I stopped worrying about it. I'm not saying that this is gonna work for you, but you can try it because it worked for me. With it in front of my face, I could stop constantly thinking about it and worrying about it because the problem is there, the solution is there, and then I know that I'm allowing this problem to still be there. It's in my hands to take action and to change this. If I really want to change it, then I can change it, because most of the time the solutions were simple and easy to do. I just wasn't doing them. And that could be I was overweight. A simple solution could be to work out once daily. Go for a walk. 1 hour, 2 hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Doesn't matter as long as you do that consistently and work on fixing the problem. So having it out on paper in front of my face, problems and solution, helped me actually change my thinking to more of a solution-based mindset. So whenever I got my problems come up in my mind, I think, oh, that's the solution. That's all I need to do. Now I've got a shortcut for you guys so you can make it even easier, right? Because this list can get big and that might seem overwhelming to you, but you don't have to do it all alone in most cases. There's some things you may have to handle yourself, or they're easy for you to handle. 100% I reckon you should handle them. But there's another way that you can do this, and that's applying the who, not how method. So the who, not how method or way of thinking or principle basically says that when we have a problem, a task, something that we need to complete, we always think of how we're going to do this, how am I going to do this? And then we stack up this big list of hows and things to do. And that again causes overwhelm because we're putting it all on ourselves to do. Now, while I would say that it is our responsibility to take ownership of everything in our life, you can outsource things that someone else can do better, someone else can do faster, or you absolutely hate doing and you're bad at. So for example, let's say you have 20K debt, just to throw out a random example. You have a 20K credit card debt racked up, and that's the problem, and it's causing you anxiety because the debt collectors are calling you up. What's the solution? You can pay that debt, you can negotiate down that debt, or you can come to a repayment agreement where you can pay it in smaller increments over time. All of those examples, you're facing that problem. But if you want to, you can get in contact with someone who can negotiate that debt down for you, or get someone to call them and organize a debt agreement for you if you don't want to personally do that. But if that's something that you want to personally do because it's easy to do and you'll feel good after doing it, then definitely go and handle that task yourself and just work at it one by one. Stack these small wins to build confidence, build momentum, so you can keep attacking these things that are problems in life. Now, this problem and solution mindset really helped me move forward and allowed me to see that most of these things were in my control. And not only were they in my control, but they're in my head. They were in my head. Most of these problems were perceived problems and not even problems that were causing me actual pain in this moment right now. I was causing myself pain by constantly running that tape in my head or of undesirable outcomes that haven't even happened yet. So why not switch that? Focus on the desirable outcomes, focus on the solutions, and you will start to manage to knock down these things in the list. Basically, that's what I did for me. And this list is a work in progress, guys. For me, just recently, it clicked to me that I realized we're always going to have problems. There's always going to be problems in life, and that's not a bad thing. If you can flip it so it's like a game and you can think of it from a solution-based thought process, whenever this problem comes up, what's the solution? Okay, bang. If you don't know the exact solution, then that's another opportunity where you could use the who, not how principle and think, okay, who can help me find the solution to this? Or who can help me even take the action to solve this for me? So it's taking more things off your plate. Now, there's still action that you have to do. You still have to take that responsibility. You have to find those who's that can help you with the problems, and that will help you move forward at a much faster rate. That's all I have for today, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know if it helps you. Write it down. Look, it's nothing new, but just wanted to share because it was some simple thing that came to my mind, and I'm going to be dropping more videos like this. Peace.